Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jag, and in today's class we're going to continue with our grade 9 content. Okay, today's class is covering linear systems, and this is actually an important topic. Okay, and the reason for this is you will see linear systems again in grade 10 math, and it's actually a unit on its own, so you go through it in so much depth that it's good that there's one section here within the grade 9 textbook. Okay, and this is section 6.7. Okay, and this is the last section of chapter 6. Again, make sure you're actually going through each of these videos that I covered, and we went through each of the sections within this whole chapter. All right, so with that, let's get started. Again, I'm going to take a couple of examples here from the textbook. All right, so the question says basically to solve each linear system. Okay, and then you're going to verify each solution by substituting the coordinates of your solution into both equations. Okay, so I'm going to give you two of the equations here. Okay, so the first equation is y equals negative x. Okay, and the second equation is going to be y equals x minus 6. Okay, so I have these two equations. I'm solving the linear system. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just basically using a substitution method. Okay, I have to make sure, this is the easiest way actually, make sure both equations are in the slope-intercept form. Okay, in this example they both are, so I don't need to do anything, because when they're in the slope-intercept form, I'm basically just substituting one equation into another. Okay, I'm still going to write it here. I'm going to put substitute equation 2, okay, into equation 1. All right, and you see when I do that, basically instead of writing this y, let's underline it. Okay, I'm just going to put x minus 6, and when the two equations are in the slope-intercept form, I'm just making both the equations equal to each other. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to do x minus 6 equals negative x. Okay, and you see how simple that is, and you should always actually do this method basically this way. Okay, that way I can get the right answer right away. Okay, I'm going to put the like terms together here. Okay, so let's just move this x over to the other side. Don't worry about the negative signs. Okay, I don't want to make it too complicated. So I'm taking the x to the other side. On the left side, I still have negative 6. Okay, equals negative x. Okay, this x on the left side is basically positive. When I move it to the other side, it's going to become negative. So negative x. Okay, again, please remember your rules for integers. Okay, so we're left with negative 6 equals, this is negative 1 minus 1, so negative 2x. Okay, and let's write it on this side of the board here so everyone can see it. All right, and I'm just going to rewrite it here. So negative 6 equals negative 2x. Okay, and what you're going to do now is divide it by negative 2 on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to put divided by negative 2. Make sure you put the negative sign here. Okay, so this negative 2 cancels out. X is basically negative 6 divided by negative 2, which is equal to 3. I'm going to box my answer one more time like this. Okay, so this is the value for x here. Okay, and again, remember that we're not done. Okay, what we want to do now is plug this back into one of our equations here and solve for the value of y. Okay, so here we can just use, let's put sub into, okay, equation 1. Okay, and for equation 1 here, I'm going to put y equals negative 3. And that's basically the answer for y. Okay, so y is equal to negative 3. All right, and again, make sure you're writing it as a point of intersection. Okay, so let's just write it on the bottom here. I'm going to put POI, has to be as a point. Okay, the x value is 3, the y value is negative 3. Okay, and I'm just going to box it there at the end so everyone can see it. Okay, are there any questions there? Okay, good. And so the second part says verify each solution by substituting the coordinates of your solution in both equations. Okay, so I'm just going to take off part of this here, which was just us showing our work. Okay, and let's keep the point of intersection here. And again, you notice that the question says to sub it into both of the equations. Because this is a linear system, okay, my solution here has to satisfy both the equations. Okay, so say I'm subbing it into equation 1. Okay, I'm going to put x here and y. My y point is -3. So I'm going to do -3 equals negative. And the x value is 3 here. Okay, so it looks something like this. And I can see right away that -3 equals -3. It does satisfy the first equation. However, I have to plug it into my second equation here. So again, y is -3. Okay, and the x value is going to be 3. So on the right side, it's 3 minus 6. Okay, does everyone see that? All right, and again, I'm just going to keep the left side the same. On the right side, I'm doing 3 minus 6, which is equal to -3. All right, and I can see again, it does satisfy the second equation as well. Okay, because both of the equations are satisfied with my solution, I know that this is the correct answer. Okay, so then you do notice, okay, the teacher can't try and trick you in any way. I can plug in my solution into both the equations. As soon as both of the sides are satisfied, I know I have the right answer. Again, it's almost like you're cheating, okay, to get the right answer here. Make sure you're always checking your work, okay, for this section, especially if it's on a quiz or a test. Okay, with that, let's try one more example here. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. And this time, basically, just to make it harder, okay, the equations are not going to be in the slope-intercept form. Okay, so let's try this one. So I have x minus y equals 8. Okay, and my second equation is going to be x plus 2y. Okay, and it's equal to 4. Okay, so just like this. Okay, I'm just going to double check we have the right equations. That looks good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to isolate for y. Okay, so take the x to the other side. So it's negative y equals 8 minus x. Okay, and again, I'm going to divide everything by -1 here. Okay, so I'll put over -1. Okay, and the y value has to be positive. So that's why we're dividing everything by -1. Then we could put y equals -8 plus x. Okay, and let's just box it so you can see it clearly. Okay, so this is for the first equation. And then for the second equation, again, I see that I want to just isolate this. Okay, and the reason we're isolating it is much easier here. Okay, to actually make the equations equal. All right, or actually in this case here, okay, we could just actually sub it in. So let's not do that. Okay, I can see that I have the value for y already. So let's just sub in equation 1 into equation 2. So just a little bit of substitution. That way we can actually just skip that step. Okay, so we're going to do x plus 2. Instead of writing this y, I'm going to sub in my -8 plus x. And that equals to 4. You notice I kept everything else the same. I'm just doing a substitution here. Okay, so x plus, again, we're going to open up the brackets here. So I'm doing 2 times -8. So let's just do one sign, minus 16. And then you're doing 2 times x, okay, which is 2x. And that equals to 4. Okay, as soon as I expanded this, this is the distributive property, a very simple property here. I'm going to put the like terms together. So I'm doing x plus 2x, so 3x minus 16 equals 4. Okay, everyone sees that? And I'm going to take the -16 to the other side, so let's just put plus 16 here. Okay, and so 3x equals 20. All right, and I'm going to divide it by 3 on both sides. So it's going to be divided by 3. So this is the value for x now. Okay, I'm getting 20 over 3. Okay, as my final answer for x. So again, I notice here I am getting a fraction. Okay, which is all right. Okay, just make sure you leave it as a fraction. Now I'm going to sub my x value back into either of these equations here. Okay, what I like to do is sub it into this equation right here. Okay, so I'm going to put a star. And the reason is it's already isolated for y. Okay, so that's less work you have to do. So let's make a line here. And we're basically subbing it into equation 1. Okay, and this is just the slope-intercept form of equation 1. Okay, so we're going to do y equals -8 plus my 20 over 3. Okay, so again, I'm going to put the negative 8 over 1. That way we can just do a common denominator with the fractions. So you're going to times it by 3. Okay, and we're going to show our work here, okay? So everyone's on the same page. So this is 24 over 3 plus 20 over 3. Okay, does everyone see that? Okay, and now because the denominator is the same, we're just going to add the numerators together. I'm doing negative 24 plus 20 here, okay, which is equal to negative 4 over 3. And I'll put the y back here and box it. Okay, so I hope everyone can see that, how we got that answer. And again, because these are simple fractions, you don't have to show all your work for this, okay? The teacher won't take off marks. Try to show maybe one step in between. So I'm going to put the point of intersection here, so POI. Again, in brackets, okay? Put the x value first, so 20 over 3. And the y value we got was negative 4 over 3. Alright? And so this is basically our final answer. Again, the POI is the point of intersection. It's where basically both of these linear lines are crossing each other. If I were to graph it out, this is the exact value that I would get, all right? Because you notice that it's a fraction, okay? When you graph it out, use the actual decimal here for the x and y value so you can see and check your answer and solution to make sure it's correct, okay? And one more time, if you are basically just verifying your solution, I'm going to take my point of intersection. I'm going to use this as the x and y points, okay? And what you're going to do is take it and I'm going to plug it into both of the equations just to make sure both the sides are equal, okay? And you should always do that again, just like we did for the previous example. And that way I can basically prove that this is, in fact, the correct answer. Alright, so that brings this video to an end. Thank you for watching. And please make sure you're subscribing to the channel and click on the like button below if you did enjoy this content. And again, I can bring out more content associated with grade 9 math. And I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.